The Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show. The Pool Guy Podcast Show. Yeah!
Hi, and welcome to the Pool Guy Podcast Show. In this episode, I'm going to be interviewing Jack Nelson, who is the CEO of Skimmer, and Ryan Hash, who is the brother of Ron Hash, who designed the Skimmer program. We're going to go over some of the features of Skimmer and why this pool routing software is something you really want to look into to organize your business, invoicing, and other aspects. And of course, you're going to hear a lot more about that during the interview. Leslie's Pool Supplies is a proud partner of the Pool Guy Podcast Show. Leslie's Pool Supplies has been do-it-yourselfers and pool trade professionals' trusted partner since 1963, providing quality products and services to make pool care easy and solutions and expertise to do it right. So I'm joined today by Jack Nelson, the CEO of Skimmer, and Ryan Hash. And Ryan, you do the technical customer support over at Skimmer?
I do, yeah. Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, so how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Excited to talk.
Doing great, David. Appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, so you want to go over a little bit about just briefly your background and touch on Skimmer while we start here?
Sure, yeah. I could talk about mine. So I've been in the tech field for a long time, and like in a different field than this. But I was looking for a change, and at the same time, my brother Ron had designed this app for Skimmer, and I had watched that grow from just an idea to a fully functioning software service. And there was a point where he was ready to take it to another level and start out a lot of good customer support and outreach. And it sounded like something I really wanted to be involved with. So that's when I jumped into Skimmer and started working with Ron, and I've been with it ever since.
Great. And what about you, Jack?
So I'm a recovering attorney by trade and did that for about 3 or 4 years, at which point I made the plunge into the entrepreneurial world and have kind of fallen in love with that side of the world ever since. So about 12 years ago, I started a company and grew it, and we sold it this last year. And about 3 months ago, actually about 6 months ago now, my business partner and I started looking at possible investment opportunities, and we found Skimmer. And as of 6 weeks ago, I'm now the CEO of Skimmer, and it's a company that I am so excited and honored to be part of for reasons I think we'll talk about today.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you guys shared some stats with me as far as the Skimmer, the usage stats and the numbers. And I would say that, I mean, it's the numbers are pretty awesome. So you want to go over the numbers that you shared with me?
Sure, yeah. So we're well over 1,500 total customers now, climbing towards 2K. As far as like total users, it's about 7,000 who are using the app. We continue to grow at a pace that even surprises us sometimes, actually. Last month in October, we had I think over 130,000 pools just in that month that our customers serviced, 44,000 work orders, 35 million readings and dosages to date. So it's been exciting for us, on our end to have started out with this idea, and now we're seeing it helping so many pool professionals out there.
Let me brag on Ryan and the team, because they don't do a good enough job bragging about themselves, but they did all of that without spending a single penny on advertising. So all of it's been word of mouth because our customers realize what a great product it is, and they tell their friends about it.
Yeah, and besides the clever name Skimmer, what's about the program that has led to these numbers, these amazing numbers of users? And I know I talked to Ron about 2 years ago when he first was getting the word out about Skimmer, and he already had started the program before that. But what's the thing about Skimmer that makes it unique among these routing softwares?
Oh, well, first of all, I appreciate it about the name because the name was my idea. Ron was looking for a good name, and it just popped into my head, and I said, hey, you would have no problem knowing what it's for if we called it Skimmer. I'm glad to hear it works. I'll tell you from the ground up, it was designed, and why I think people like it is that it was designed to basically remove a lot of your worries and your hassles, which of course is also going to save you time. So you don't have to worry about forgetting to service a customer. You don't have to worry about, hey, what are my techs doing? Because it's easy to track them through the day, and you don't have to worry about losing out on money. Like maybe, well, I'll give you an example. We've had people who say, hey, for my old paper system, I used to maybe sell a skimmer basket or install a little part, and I wouldn't see it on my paper record, and so I wouldn't charge for it, and so essentially I gave that part away for free. That doesn't happen anymore with Skimmer, because when you use the shopping list and you mark an item as installed, it's going to keep track of it from that point on, and so it really removes a lot of the worries and the troubles that pool guys have struggled with for years in using pen and paper.
Yeah, and David, I'd say it does a lot more than just the routing software. And when we were looking at making an investment into this industry, we looked at a lot of different platforms, and the one thing that jumped out at us was the user experience that Skimmer customers have. We did a survey of all of the existing customers, and Skimmer has a 75 net promoter score, which is off the charts in terms of how much the customers really enjoy using the product and how it really benefits their businesses. So we just felt like it was a best in class platform, and we're excited to try to grow it.
Well, I'll tell you one of the other things that we've been able to address that a lot of people, when they call and they're interested in Skimmer, they're worried about is they'll say, hey, I've got one street or one neighborhood where the signal is just terrible. And so maybe this thing I've been using is web based. And so every time I go in that neighborhood, I lose all my work or I can't do my work. Um, and so we're really happy to be able to tell them, well, Skimmer is designed to work offline. So if you go into that neighborhood and you have zero signal, doesn't matter. You can still do your work. And then later on, when you get to an area that has good signal, then Skimmer will connect up to the cloud and save all the data up there. But just an area of bad signal is not going to interrupt your work.
Pretty cool. I didn't think about that, but I know in some areas where I service, the signals are really bad, and that would definitely be a factor. And I think the easiest way, I think, to describe Skimmer to the listeners is to go over some of the key features. And if you want to go maybe down a list and just touch on some of the key features of the Skimmer program that you think would make it really appealing to those who haven't used it or thinking about getting, a software for their business, I think it's a perfect time to jump into this software market if you're a pool service professional, because these apps and these programs have really taken off, and they've gotten a lot better than the first generation of it. Just like anything, when you buy the first generation of something, you always have to deal with, you're basically a beta tester in some cases, but Skimmer, of course, is definitely not in any kind of beta phase, and the numbers of users actually prove that. So why don't you go over some of the features here?
Yeah, happy to do that. And I will say that the nice thing about having our customer growth also is that they're continually like telling us what they want and what can make their job easier. And so that helps us to know, what we're going to build next for you. So some of the high points as far as like what we offer, I'll give you a list and then I'll kind of go back and expand. It's a great way to track all your customers. It's a great way to build and see snapshots of your routes and be able to manage those. Customer communication, I know, is real important to people, and so we have a really nice service email system that you can set up to work automatically. And we're not just all about like service, like the weekly service. You can also use our work order function to do things like filter cleanings, tracking your repairs, things like that. And I had mentioned keeping track of installed items. We have a whole shopping list area that'll help you keep track of not only items you need to buy, but what you've installed for your customers. And then getting paid is important. So we have invoicing reports that'll help you know everything that you've done for your customers. We have some billing integrations and more coming with that along the way as well. And then we try to stay flexible as far as like who can use us. So we've got web apps for anyone who's on a desktop computer to do management. And then for the people out in the field, we're compatible with iOS and Android. So we have a lot of users with lots of different types of devices using us. As far as keeping track of like for the customers, it's not just like a name and an address. If they have multiple bodies of water, you can easily keep track of that. You can see the full history, everything you've done for them. You can keep track of even little things like we have boxes in the system for what's their gate code. It's things that you're not going to have to worry about finding in a binder anymore. It's just going to always be there. As far as routes, there's a lot of customization and a lot of optimization that you can do. So it's very easy not only to just build a route where you can see everything that gets plotted on a map. You can make sure that maybe your groupings are good so you're not zipping all over town. But even once you get those routes built, you can go into individual routes and you can zoom in and say, hey, I'm going to either drag and drop or I'm going to tap this button to get a really good customized optimization for the route to make sure that it's the most efficient as possible, and to make sure that you're spending as little amount of time possible driving between your stops.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sold just by listening to that list. Are you going to say something, Jack?
I think Ryan summed that up really well. We've got a tagline that says everything you need to run your pool service business all in one app, and there it is.
Yeah, and so let's say you're talking to the, notepad and pencil guy out there, someone who's just taking notes and doing things the old school way, which is a lot of people. Probably the majority of pool guys are still doing that. You went over some of the great features. So how can this take their business to the next level? How can it really improve their business? And, to justify moving everything to this kind of software program and app, you're talking to that kind of person that's kind of old school, and you have their ear right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give you a couple of things that I hear a lot from people, both who are interested in Skimmer and who are longtime users, and they talk about what they like. For one, as far as your routes, it's not just, oh, hey, I set and I optimize this route and I'm off and running. We know that, I mean, things can change all the time. Either a tech gets sick, or a job takes longer than you thought, or a customer needs you right now because they're going to have a pool party. Well, instead of you and all your techs meeting in a parking lot somewhere and trying to trade around binders and trying to say, okay, you've got this person assigned, give me that page, you go into Skimmer, and with a few taps, you can rearrange and reassign to your heart's content. You can make sure that you're covering everything you need. You can give temporary assignments to your tech, and then know that the next week it's going to all go back to normal, and you don't have to touch any more buttons. It's a few minutes as opposed to spending like a whole morning with trying to get everything straight with your routes. And another thing they say that stands out to them is with the service emails, because not only are those fully customizable, where you can show the customer as much as you want about the stop, and not only can you upload photos so that they can see the results of your work, but those are all repeatable too. So let's say if your customer says, hey, I didn't see that email, so I'm not sure if you were really here. Well, you can go right into Skimmer and say, all right, well, I'll send you the email again. You can see all the information. You can see the original date and time when it was finished. And that way it helps build a good relationship between you and your customer, because you're showing them proof, hey, I was there and I was doing the work for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think just it really, the amount of time it can save converting from pen and paper is extraordinary. And our customers can then use that time to grow their routes and build more business, or just to have more free time. And then, as Ryan just said at the end, the customer experience, it's also been really neat to watch how much more our customers value what they're doing because of Skimmer.
Yeah, and then when it comes time to invoice, again, you're not spending your time combing through your paper records or your binders to see, okay, well, how many times did I go this month? What chemicals did I give them? That's already tracked in the system. And you can either go to our reports and see everything like all collected and presented to you nicely, or if you're using QuickBooks Online, we have an integration with that can help you very quickly and easy package up all that information and generate invoices off it.
And I think that's a key for a lot of the pool service guys out there, because invoicing to us is a real pain. It's one of the things that we struggle with, because a lot of us don't have the background to do that. So I think, the invoicing part of it is a great feature.
And David, I'll add, the invoicing we have right now is great. It exports it, like Ryan said, to QuickBooks Online. But one of the things our customers have recently been asking for is, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could just do the invoicing within Skimmer, within the app, and not have to export to QuickBooks? And so that's one of the it's actually the number one thing on our product roadmap right now, and we're making a big investment in technology to build that invoicing functionality all within the Skimmer app, so that our customers it really does become a one-stop shop.
So I think the next question that we're going to be asked is, how much does all this cost to use Skimmer, to use all these features?
Sure, yeah. So first of all, you start up, there's no setup fees, there's no contracts to sign. and we offer a 60-day money-back guarantee. So you can go in really with zero risk. Our subscription program is 50 cents per serviced customer, with 29 being the minimum. So the minimum charge would be 29 to the month. Just for instance, the example I usually give is if you service 100 customers in a month, it'd be about $50 for you, and that includes unlimited users. You can have as many people like in your office or as many techs out in the field, and it's all the same price. That includes access to, of course, all of our training, all of our phone and email support, and we have 75 roundabouts training videos that are there and available on the website. I think they're good because I make most of them. So if anyone's watched them and they hear that voice on there and they think it sounds familiar, that's me. But they're really meant, each one, to show you like very specifically how to use the different features of the app. And yeah, that's all included in that subscription fee.
And I wish I had your voice, Ryan. You have the radio voice for sure.
Thanks.
That's what we told him. He has a voice for radio. I think I have a face for radio.
Yeah, my voice is not radio quality, but besides that, let's say you're a single poler out there, and is this app designed for you also? Besides multiple companies with rerouting and things like that, let's say I just have 80 accounts, and I'm looking for a way to organize it, keep everything well, not have things fall through the cracks. Is it designed for the single poler?
Absolutely. Yeah. We get like the one-man shops calling us all the time and using us all the time. It's really meant to, like, it scales with you if you have a bigger company, but if you're just a single poler, then all of the same features will work the exact same for you. You can use as many of them or as little of them as you want, just whatever fits your business. We get all sorts of sizes. So everything from, companies that have 50 techs out there to people who have just started their business. They have 2 or 5 customers and they want to get an app going as soon as possible. And Skimmer really is designed to work smoothly with any size.
Great. And then let's touch on the invoicing again, because I think that's an important aspect. A lot of time that you're spending in your business is invoicing customers, looking through your notes to find, the Skimmer basket. You mentioned that I installed this, so I charge them for it. And many things can fall through the cracks. Besides that, just doing the invoicing every month is a big hurdle because it's just a daunting task for a lot of people. So how does Skimmer, I know you're going to integrate it into the app pretty soon. So how does Skimmer help someone who struggles with invoicing?
Sure, yeah. I'll give you a couple examples. Like first with our QuickBooks Online integration, I had someone tell me who runs a fairly sizable business that they used to spend minimum every month a full day, sometimes more, sometimes a day and a half or two, just getting all the invoices ready for their customers. And now once they got this set up with our QuickBooks Online integration, they said it takes them maybe an hour because all the information's already there. And through Skimmer, they connect their Skimmer account directly to QuickBooks Online. We have pages that help you package up all of that information, all your services, everything that you've done for the customer, and send it over to QuickBooks and auto-generate the invoices for you. So it makes it super easy. Not every one of our customers uses QuickBooks though, so they've got their own things that they like. For them, we still have lots of reports. We have an invoicing report that will essentially give you all the same information. And again, you don't have to go hunting for it. You can see, oh, hey, for John Smith this month, I did 4 regular stops. I sold him a skimmer basket. These are all the chemicals that I'm charging for. Oh, and yeah, and I repaired that pump that he was having trouble with, and so now I see that work order and I can charge for that as well. And then all that data is there, and they can plug that into whatever solution they normally use. And then, of course, like Jack said, we've got this other feature that will be an internal invoicing system that's coming out next year, and we've had a lot of people ask for that, so we're really excited about getting that out.
Yeah, and one other function I'll mention that the current system does is we realize that not every pool company prices the same way. Some people may include certain chemicals in their pricing, and so we allow our customers the flexibility to build the invoicing around their own individual pricing structure.
So you're talking to the one-finger texter out there, someone who's not very tech savvy, and I kind of fall into that category in some cases. And so you get the software, you sign up. So how easy it is to input all of your customer data into the app to get started, to get running, to get this really working for you?
It was designed from the ground up for pool guys, which means that it wasn't designed for, guys that live and breathe tech all the time. And because of that, the philosophy from day one has been, let's make it user friendly. Let's make it easy to learn, easy to understand, and also easy to get going with. So in addition to just being pretty intuitive with how the app and the website work, like I said, we have all those videos that can take you step by step through all the skills you need to learn. And we're very hands-on with our support. If people send us an email or if they give us a call, we are there to answer the email or take the phone call and we'll walk them through how to do a certain thing. Like if a lot of times we'll get new customers call and say, I got a guy who called in sick. How do I move his routes? Or it's a holiday week next week. How do I make sure that we still get all our work done? And we'll walk people through, okay, tap here and tap there, and that's how you do your moves. And yeah, we want it to be a great experience for people. So we don't want you to be out there feeling lost. And so we very much want people to call and ask for help.
And I think besides I think that's really an important point, the tech support, because with anything, I think that's the key. When you call someone, you want to be able to get help. And, it's very frustrating when you call tech support and there's nothing on the other line or someone doesn't know how the answer. Since you guys are the ones that created the software and run it, you know the answers. And I think the videos that you have definitely translate that. Now, if someone wants to look at the videos right now, can they go look at some videos to kind of preview the software, get an idea of how to use it?
Absolutely, yeah. In addition to the demo video we have on the front page of the website, anyone can go to getskimmer.com/videos. You don't have to have a subscription. You can go on there and see all of our tutorial videos. It's a great way to get a feel for what it looks like and how you'd put in all your information, how you'd manage your techs and your customers, and see if it's something that'd be right for you.
Great. I think I also have there's a link that they created for listeners of my podcast to sign up.
Absolutely, yeah. You could go to getskimmer.com/poolguypodcast. You can find more information on there and you can sign up right from there.
We are very grateful for all of our existing customers, not just for their patronage, but for the ideas and the feedback that we continue to get from them. And that's really what's driving the product roadmap going forward. And so we know we've got a fantastic product already, but we're so excited to see what it's going to look like 12 months from now with all of the new features we're going to continue to roll out with the customer feedback we're getting. So to the extent our existing customers are listening, I'd say keep it coming.
Yeah, and I will also reiterate that if there's anyone out there who's not a current customer but has questions that maybe they didn't see the answer to on the website or a video, that support line is not just for our current customers. That's for if you have a question about Skimmer before signing up, give us a call, and we're happy to talk you through anything you want to know.
Yeah, and I would say that the cost of something like this is definitely worth it, because if you just add the cost of, if you have 100 accounts and it's $50 a month to do the software, how many items fall through the cracks every month without a software? A pump basket, maybe even forgetting to charge someone for a repair you did, and that's way more than $50. And if you add that up to the course of the year, it could be staggering, the amount that you're just letting fall through the cracks or bleed through. Things like that happen all the time. Those are things that I think a software like this will prevent.
Well, yeah, David, I'm embarrassed to say that my pool company does not use Skimmer. They don't use any technology right now. And every Wednesday, I watch how many times my tech goes from my backyard to his truck back and forth to get his binder, get new chemicals, or get parts that he needs. And if he were using Skimmer, that would all be right there. And so just, the reduction in labor cost alone, it more than pays for itself.
For sure.
Yeah. And I guess just the last thing I'll add is we're going to really make a point to try to be much more visible around the industry, be it at trade shows, be it at trade associations, magazines, journals, online, kind of in every forum. So expect to see a lot more of us, and please do reach out to us, as Ryan said.
Great. Well, thank you for your time today and doing this recording. I think it's going to really help people to find Skimmer and to see the real need and the benefit behind a routing software like Skimmer.
Hey, well, thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, David. We enjoy your podcast as well.
Thanks. Again, the website you can go to find out more and to sign up is getskimmer.com. And then you want to do / Pool Guy Podcast. I'm part of their affiliate program, and this is one way for them to know that the person that signed up came from the podcast show. And so if you can use that / when you go to getskimmer.com and then / Pool Guy Podcast Show, I would appreciate that. And also, if you're interested in learning more about the software, of course, you know that Ryan mentioned that you can just call them or go on their website or email them to get more support before you sign up to get a better idea. But with the amount of users using Skimmer already, you know that it's definitely something that's not in the beta phase. It's definitely in the alpha phase. I guess that's what you would call something out of the beta phase. And you definitely will get a good response from Ryan and from maybe Kevin and Jack. They all work over there at Skimmer, and they'll get back to you right away to get you on board to use the software. And I hope you found the podcast helpful and all the features described in there. If you're looking for more podcasts, you can definitely go to my website, swimmingpoollearning.com, and on the banner, you just click on the podcast icon, and you'll see a drop-down list of all the podcasts I recorded. I have over 500 episodes, and you can listen to the previous episodes from that link, or you can subscribe to the podcast and get a new episode emailed to you Monday through Friday. And if you're in the industry and looking to enhance your business, definitely check out my coaching program at poolguycoaching.com. A lot of great benefits and features there also. Thanks for listening to this podcast. Have a great rest of your week, and God bless. Leslie's Pool Supplies has been do-it-yourselfers and pool trade professionals' trusted partner since 1963, providing quality products and services to make pool care easy and solutions and expertise to do it right.